Hi, my name is Terry Harrington, and I would like to welcome you to a new edition of Technically Speaking. Technically Speaking is a monthly program produced by St. Clair County RESA that features the St. Clair County Technical Education Center, which is preparing to celebrate its 35th anniversary. We will show you what is offered and give you an in-depth look at the variety of programs of study provided at Tech. Not only will you get to meet and see what students are doing, you'll even have the chance to meet Tech staff members and alumni. In this edition of Technically Speaking, we are looking at another one of the relatively new programs offered at Tech, Mechatronics and Robotics. So you're probably wondering, what is Mechatronics? Well, it's a term that was coined first in 1969 to reflect the merging of mechanical and electrical disciplines. Today, it's much broader than that by also encompassing software and information technologies. In fact, many early robots have resulted from Mechatronics development. Like most technology-dependent jobs in Michigan and across the country, the job opportunities for those trained in mechatronics is rapidly growing. America's Career Info Net is projecting up to a 13% increase in the number of jobs available for mechatronics students over the next 6 years or so, and the wages are expected to be well above average as well. There's a whole lot more to mechatronics field than robotics. We will learn much more about mechatronics with tech instructor Bob Timmerman when we come back from this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Technically Speaking. You can see we've made it down to the lab of the Mechatronics program here at St. Clair Tech. And joining me now is the instructor for the program, Bob Timmerman. Bob, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Terry. How you doing?
Great. Now, Mechatronics, what a mouthful.
Yes.
How does a person like yourself get involved in a profession like this, called Mechatronics?
Well, Mechatronics encompasses a vast area of products, manufacturing, industry. And basically what it is, it's a combination or a blending of mechanics, electronics or electrical controls, computer science, fluid power, and you take all those and it encompasses what mechatronics is all about. And it deals with automation, not only in the automotive industry, but in several other industries like medical field and the food products industry and things like that.
And I think when we think of mechatronics, the one thing that comes to mind obviously are robots.
Robots, yes.
So, but it's a lot more than just that, though.
It is a lot more than just robots. You have robots that are integrated or interface with machine operation, or you can have robots such as this right here. This is a robot that's radio controlled. It has a vision system, and it also has servo motors for motion control as far as tilting your camera up and down and rotating it back and forth. And you can do that from an off-site somewhere, just as my student is over there doing that. Okay. Joe.
Now, what were you doing in this field prior to coming to Tech?
I worked in several places. I was working in the welding industry with robots at Lamb Technicon. I was working at Crossheuler in the metal removal industry. And what we were doing is making machines that either put together a car body or made some type of a mechanical unit for a car, such as an engine or a valve for the engine or anything in that aspect.
Okay. Now, when kids come into this program, do they need to know everything about fluid power, electrical, mechanical, all of those things, or can they kind of specialize?
They can specialize in an area. The important thing is to have the knowledge base of the different areas, and you're always going to have one stronger area than another, which is another good thing about what mechatronics is. It really creates and develops a teamwork application to where somebody might have a little stronger area than another, and that's where the teamwork comes together, where somebody might have good concept of mechanics, but another person might have a good concept of programming or robots. And if you tie those two people together, now you have a really good team going.
I was going to say, this is one of those rare programs where you really have to have good team building skills.
You have to have good team building skills, and you have to be able to communicate well. And not only do you have to be self-motivated and self-initiated, you also have to be able to take direction as well as give direction.
Now, what are some of the other skills that the students need to be successful in the mechatronics field?
They would have to have a good hands-on concept, a little bit of mechanical ability, somebody who maybe would like to know how something works within.
Is this one of those programs that is going to continually to expand as technology increases and our knowledge base gets bigger?
Yes, it is, and it's increasing as we speak. It's expanding and getting larger and larger. with the introduction of robots and the new technology and all that's going on around us, it's becoming so dependent on technology. Anything from an automated home to an automated robot. This is used in the government environment, to anything that has to do with machine, wireless. Your automotive vehicle has all the nice gadgets on it that kind of make you a little more relaxed when you're driving. So there's a lot of robotics and sensor embedded type software that goes on everywhere around us.
And look what we're seeing in the medical field today,
Yes.
where they're using robotics to do surgeries and things. You know,
Yes.
so it's non-invasive. So yeah, I guess quite a field for these kids to be able to go into.
X-ray technicians as well use robotics. Yes,
Great.
That's great.
Is this program, like a lot of the other tech programs, they qualify students for state certification? Is this program have that as well, or do you actually go well beyond what like a state certification would be?
The first, actually it's an international certification through the Fluid Power Society.
Okay.
We will be able to, my students will be able to study and test for that if they choose to. So that's really the main state certification, but you can get certified in electrical. You can get certified in the fluid power, like I was saying, and you could get other state certifications as far as journeyman status, but not directly out of tech.
Okay. Now, you've got a pretty fancy device sitting here in front of us. Tell us a little bit about that and how you use this with the students in the classroom.
Okay, the way I use this with the student is basically we have remote control, which is radio control. We have the camera vision, the camera and our light vision right here, but the camera is based on a servo motor, so we talk about motion control. Okay? So the motors are designed in here, and they can rotate, like I was saying before, and they can tilt this way as well. So what we do is we teach them how do we control this, where are we getting the information from. So we learn to program that particular unit. And the same thing with the wheels. To get the wheels going, there's motors underneath for steering and for driving back and forth as well. And you could teach them to program the robot to go fast, slow, in between, accelerate, decelerate, and you get in gear ratios and things like that as well. So there's many things that they can learn to program within a little device like this.
And imagine having hands-on opportunities like this really bring this whole subject to life for these kids.
Yes, it does. You tie everything, all of the different areas together when you talk mechanics, programming, software, electrical. It's all built and designed right in.